where I apologized verbally, repeatedly. Each time I get a chance, I do apologize to her for the 3-year-old incident, because I feel like had I acted at the time, had I not been manipulated or allowed myself to be manipulated at the time, had I agreed to what the policemen were suggesting at the time, I could have saved my child. It could have ended there. She would not even remember anything.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing us. Bazalwani, happy New Year. I'm going to start sounding like a scratch CD because every time when I say Happy New Year, I say New Year. The calendar has changed, but the life is still the same because problems are probleming and everything is just as it was, you know. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But anyway, when I go straight into our episode for today, we've got a beautiful, before I introduce her, let me give you a background story. There's a challenge that I started, I think a couple of days ago on the socials, and it was hashtag IDidNotKillHim. And the reason why I started that challenge was because I wanted people to understand that it does not matter how badly somebody has treated you or what they've done to you, but at the end of the day, we still don't have the right to take other people's lives. This was after so many women have been, unalived by so many men out there because for some reason they feel like they own women, or also because they feel like what the women did was just so bad. But if you actually go and check out the hashtag IDidNotKillHim, you will actually realize that there are so many things that have been done out there and people are just wild. But at the end of the day, we make the choices and the decisions to say, I'm not going to kill somebody no matter what they've done to me. But anyway, today we have a guest and she also had a fair share of her story, that broke my heart. I shared it. I think it's probably one of the most shared story under the hashtag IDidNotKillHim. And I felt like we needed to have her here so that she can share the story in detail so that, we get to know about the story and learn that you do not have to kill anybody no matter how much they've done to you. All you have to do is to pick yourself up and you heal and you keep it going. My sister.
Madam Speaker.
How are you, my darling?
Fine, thanks. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year. Do you know why I'm so happy to say that?
Oh, hi. Why are you so happy?
It's because I think I'm still not used to saying Happy New Year. I come from a religious background that did not allow us to celebrate days like New Year, Christmas, and so on. I'm so happy that finally I can say those without any guilt. Thanks for having me here, and I don't know how you do it because you're dealing with bigger stories than mine. You are dealing with a lot. How do you cope? Let me start there as if I'm the interviewer.
It's fine. You can interview me, my sister. For me, I feel like it is all God. I learned this through therapy that when you are a seed and you are planted in the ground, during the time when you are fighting to actually break the ground, nobody sees you fighting. But the minute you start growing from the ground as a plant or whatever, only then people get to see the amount of work that you have done, right? Which is you fighting from the ground going all the way up. And I've learned that through prayer this year to say in the beginning of the year of 2024, I felt the need and the desire for me to reconnect and go back to God by full force. And when I did that, it was just a desire in my heart where I felt like this is what I need to do for myself. I had no idea that what was actually ahead of me needed me to do the work to train my spiritual muscle to be able to withhold whatever or withstand whatever that's going to be shared with me. Because I can tell you now that if it was not for God, I know that we say this all the time as Abazalwani, but for me, I feel like if it was not for God, I would not be able to, handle the stories that are being shared here on a daily basis, because for some reason, I always go back to the Creator and say, Lord, you put me here. You said I must do this. You said I must open this platform because you will guide me. And I'm so grateful that God always carries me and he keeps his promises.
You're a groundbreaker. That's all I can say.
Oh, thank you so much, my sister.
May God grant you the same strength forward.
Thank you so much. Anyway, you're done interviewing me. I can start interviewing you now.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself to the people at home.
I'm Cylia Zengele. I grew up in Everton and Paris, between two places. And I'm a mother of three. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm also an author of a book called Denial of a Married Woman. Yes.
Sure. How did you get to be an author of that book? I know everything else matters, ne? But for me, every time when somebody says I'm an author and I hear the title of the book, like, there's something there.
That's the most difficult thing that has ever happened to my life that had driven me to write that book. It was not under noble circumstances. It was hard. But that book became my healing. That is where my healing started. I needed healing so bad. From the love, Mjolo says. Mjolo, obuhlungu, bad one. So I met this guy in the congregation, Christian congregation, Jehovah's Witness congregation. We were at a wedding. My cousin introduced us. Say, hey, here's brother so-and-so. Brother so-and-so was with other people, but my eyes fell on brother so-and-so. For me, it was love at first sight. Brother so-and-so did not approach me for 4 years. For 4 years.
After
did
you
not
saw
see
him.
me, did not notice me. I was just one of the sisters. Until he finally did notice. I don't even know how, but I felt like him approaching me was God finally aligning my wishes, answering my prayers. Because I prayed for that man, guys. I did. Yeah. So, fast forward, we date for 1.5 years. We get married. The mistake happens right there. We don't talk about important issues, like having kids. Yeah, that's hard for me now. I would like to stress this a lot. It's so important that couples discuss important things before marriage because they can have dire consequences if not discussed before so that people can make informed choices.
What are can you at least mention a few things which you feel like are important issues that must be discussed in the beginning of a relationship?
Things like the number of children that you need to have, the place that you need to maybe live in. Big choices, man. Like somebody may be liking to stay in township, somebody may like to stay in town. And those things may look like nothing at the beginning, but in marriage, they can mean a lot because somebody may associate staying in town with more money that they need, that needs to be paid, and maybe they don't like that kind of life, simple life. Just making an example.
Yeah.
But let's come back to the one that's personal for me, which is the number of children. We did not discuss that before. We get married, and we are Jehovah's Witnesses. No sex before marriage.
So, but then during the dating for the 1.5 years, was the relationship good?
The relationship was, when you don't know, you think it was good. Now that I know better, it wasn't. Because he would disappear for weeks. He would disappear for weeks without saying anything, coming to see me. He said, this is 1998. This is the age where cell phones are starting to come in, but they are not a thing yet. I didn't have one, he didn't have one. So there is no form of communication. At home in Everton, those who lived in Everton would know this, there were no, most of the houses did not have landlines. In Sebokeng there was, but in Everton there wasn't. So there's no form of communication except for when we meet. Ne? This person we meet at congregations, hello, Jehovah's Witness congregations, we meet about 3 times and sometimes more. At that time, in 1998, we were meeting on Tuesday, we are meeting on Thursday, we're meeting on Sunday. And in between, we have to go and do preaching work. So sometimes the preaching work happens for people who are working, even on Saturdays. We are meeting, we're not talking. We don't know each other, we are strangers.
Why?
Many laws that were there governing the church at that time. You are going to be recognized once you have promised each other marriage. Only then. This is 1998 in Everton. Once you have promised each other marriage, then you can, okay, now you are allowed to date openly. You can even sit together in church. Okay. But before the engagement, that cannot happen. So you'll be strangers among people.
Okay.
Yeah, but he can come and visit you. And when he does, he must bring someone. There's a patron that must be there at all times. Even after engagement. It's a courtship.
Okay.
Perfect courtship up until marriage. That's how they ensure that there is no shenanigans that will ever happen before. Hence, that is to facilitate the sex without outside marriage. Yes, sex before marriage. So that you can consummate the conjugal rights on the marriage night or whatever time after the marriage. So it happened with us. We had our patron that was there all the time. And we get married, go to Tsitsikamma. He had arranged a surprise honeymoon. The girls very happy because which girl does not like honeymoon? So to me, he is like the man that I was praying for. Fine. On top of that, marriage life starts. He is the kindest man ever. He is the kindest man that is so not affectionate much, but he is very helpful. And not just to me, to my family as well, to everybody, even in church. He is the go-to guy for everybody. He is the ministerial servant. He is also, at one stage of our marriage, he became a treasurer of the congregation. As a treasurer of the congregation, there are times when we have to go to conventions. There are buses that needs to be taken there. The congregation has a habit of not paying. If they do pay, you'll find that mother and father would pay, but they would bring their 4 children, 3 children, not paying. The bus is getting full, but the money that's supposed to fill the bus is not there. He would take from our family finances and
fill the gaps.
And at first I would be angry, but I noticed that I thought it's his nature. I thought this is his nature. You know what? Let me not be the enemy of God. Because that time, if you go against anything that has to happen in church, you are considered devilish. Like, why are you like, this is for God. This is for, So he was that kind of a person. This man helps me clean the house. This man helps me iron the clothes. I didn't like ironing. He did that. He washes the dishes, does the washing, hangs it on the without caring who says what, which neighbor says what. Everybody says, you are really married to a good guy. Even my mother used to say, "Unyalehile." In Sesotho when they say you married the good.
Married well.
And his side of the family, you must have given him some love potion there. Yes. So that's how good he was. He accommodated my family so well. And I would also ensure that when his family comes, some of them I even invited them because I felt like this man is doing a lot for me. I also have to come to par with him and match his energy. We are living in a very good home. No quarrels. We talk about things. No quarrels whatsoever. There is never a time when we shouted at each other. And people would be surprised. I remember one of my colleagues, when I told her that, you know what, I don't know how to quarrel in a. And she was like, you are lying, Cylia, it cannot be. But that was the case. It was not a lie. Our children never witnessed us quarreling ever in their entire life in that marriage, which was 13 years of my marriage and 11-year period for them, for my children. So, yes, this is the man. And then this is the life. We have our first, okay, no, come, I'm sorry for digressing.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. Coming back to the children part. We are talking about the marriage, children now in marriage. And he's like, I don't want any children.
You're only finding out after the marriage.
After the marriage. And I'm like, not taking him serious. I'm like, this one doesn't know what fatherhood is. If he can taste with just one child what fatherhood is, he would really love it. And he's good most. He does all the things. That energy that he puts for everyone else, it needs to be replicated in a child. And I know that he can pass this good habits, good everything, good values, principles to the child. And I became selfish because I grew up dreaming of having 6 children. Six, my sister.
How many siblings do you have, my sister?
I have 4. I have 3 siblings. We are 4 at home. I'm the only girl, 3 brothers. I don't know what is it, but I wanted 6 children ever since I was. So I'm like, now I'm not going to be a mother. Not even to a single child. Cannot be. I have to now make this man see that there's a need for a child in this house. And culturally, aren't we told that if you're married, you've got to produce, child in that marriage is evident. I don't know. And society says a child is a love child in marriage. And religion also does say,
be fruitful
God
and multiply.
You see? So, and he is adamant. I do not want any child. What are your reasons? He says, I don't have any reasons. I don't want children. I love children from a distance from other people. I can do anything from children from other people. I don't want. I grew up not wanting any children. I never dreamt of myself being a father.
And he didn't say why?
He never said why. So, since he's not even saying why, to me, he does not know why he does not want the child.
And you're going to prove to him why he should have
we
children.
need this. And then now start nagging him. Nagging him the whole year up until in the 2nd year he gives in. Gives in on the 2nd, after 2 years, we get a child, our first child. First of all, we got a miscarriage. And now that I'm thinking about a lot of things, there is a possibility that he may have contributed to
The miscarriage.
the first miscarriage. And since I did not tell her, so I made sure that it happens again. And guys, biggest mistake ever. The child grows, he becomes this very hands-on father. What does it say to me? Look,
Another one.
look, I knew you were gonna love your child. I knew you were gonna love this. You see how nice fatherhood is? And he is hands-on, he is there every step of the way. From the pregnancy to every born, everything. Sharp. And it carries on until the child is 3 years. One night, it's the winter of 2004, the child did not sleep that night. Was very sick. Very sick. But not very, very sick as to like we need to take the child right now. The child had a serious fever. So I placed the child in the bath, in the just lukewarm bath, try all night to ensure that the child is okay, manageable until the morning. The father will take the child to the doctor. He is going to work at 2:10. He was working a shift of 2:10. I am new at work, so I must be at work in the morning. I'm afraid to be absent. And the child is with the father, Mos. So the father will take the child to the doctor.
You only had one child during that time?
Yes, we have only one child at this time. So I get to work and I asked to come back early. Come back early, find them, they are okay. The child is okay. Did you take the child to the doctor? No. As you can see, the child is well. There was no need. Let's not waste medical aid when there's no need. If she can repeat again, then we'll take her to the doctor. Okay. He leaves me with the child. He goes to work. The same evening, around 8 o'clock, we're trying to sleep now with the baby. She is now a toddler. It's not a baby, 3-year-old toddler. She sits on the bed. She says to me, Mama, Papa on rotates out of the blue as we are trying to get into bed to sleep. And I got shocked, stepped out of bed. Now I realized that the way I got shocked, I shocked the child. Because I was like, what? What did you say? And she was like, no, Mama, Papa did not do anything to me.
Oh,
Let me translate what she had said. Mama, Papa, Onkutetsikamuna means, Mom, Dad had urinated on me in here. She was pointing. So, I begged. I lowered my voice, trying to get her to repeat what she had said. And she was like, no, Mama, no, Mama. So I think from a mind of a toddler, she must have thought, this is bad. Why is my mom jumping? This must be very horrible. Let me not say this. Because you won't even know what did he say to her when he did whatever at that time. But I was like, I tried to sleep. I could not. Thinking of what can I do? Who can I tell? Who do I trust with such a huge thing? The next idea that comes to my mind, because I don't have a car, I don't have a license at the time. The car that we had, he's at work with it. It's at night, but I need the child to be checked at that particular time. I'm calling an ambulance. I'm telling them I don't have an emergency, but the child has just said this to me. They say that's an emergency, we are coming. They are not telling me that they are calling Childline at the same time. Childline is calling a Child Protection Unit. At that time, it was not FCS like it is called now. It was called Child Protection Unit in 2004. So the ambulance comes, we go to the hospital. It's in Midval, in Three Rivers, next to Vereeniging. I came there while I'm still at the reception writing everything, filling the forms. Two police officials come in. They say, we are looking, there were a few people in the reception there. We are looking for Mrs. Zengele. My heart said, the police now. Who called the police? I didn't call the police, I called the ambulance. I need to verify first, we'll put the police later. That's my mind. They were there. They came with a rape kit. Then they were here. They told me, we are here, we had this and that. So by the time the child gets to be checked by the doctor, they are also here with the rape kit ready for samples. The doctor checks the child with me and them right there. he says, he's an old doctor. I can't even forget his face because he was even having a white hair like yours. And he is saying, this child was not penetrated. There's no any sign of penetration here. But there is this white discharge. What do you usually bath the child with? I'm saying I'm bathing a child with, I don't know if I can see the brand of the soap that I was using. Okay, it's just one of the reputable brands. So, and he says he recommends one of these mild ones to say, it could be that the child may be allergic to that one because the one that we're using is too harsh. So rather use this. Says there are girls with discharge. I'm saying, but doctor, I'm worried because the child has said this. And doctor says, is he her father? I say, yes. Her biological father, yes. No, he can't do that to the child. That's the doctor. Okay. The police are here. And then he says, now I'm saying, but doctor, the child pointed and said, in here. Why would the child say something like that? He also says the 3-year-olds have got imaginative minds, who are very creative. They can lie a lot. That was a doctor. Another thing, he said, maybe the father urinated. As I'm saying, the child was with the father, because I did explain that to the doctor, that day he had ample time to do whatever that he may have done to the child, because they were the two of them at home. Says maybe, children love to follow their parents everywhere. Maybe the father did his thing in the bathroom, the child saw, now that's why he would say, she would say that. And I was like, but the pointing part is the worrying. And yeah. So now we have to leave there. Remember, I came with an ambulance. I can't go home with an ambulance. Now the police are here, are saying, Ma'am Zengele, let's go. We are going. I'm happy we are going home. To my surprise, we stopped right outside the police station in Vereeniging. What are we doing here now? My heart goes again, boo, boo, boo. Where are we? They are like, please come with us. We need a statement. What statement? No, the statement of what the child has said to you. No, I can't do that. You heard we were there with the doctor. You heard nothing happened to the child. You were there, guys. Why are you wanting to? They said to me, Mazengele, do you know that there are people that just do their thing on their children without ever penetrating? And that is still illegal according to South African law. And if your husband has done that to the child, that is illegal. So, and we cannot just pretend we did not hear this. We cannot pretend this did not happen. My denial of a married woman, which is the title of my book, that's where it comes in. It said, the doctor said, 3-year-olds can lie. You were there. The doctor said, it's her father. He cannot do that to his own child. You were there. And you had everything. You were there, guys. Why are you making a big deal out of this? And they are like, to me, listen, me, did you see that child had a discharge? And we took the swab. Here's the box kit. This box kit needs to be sent to FSL, which is Forensic Science Lab. It can't be sent without a statement. We need your statement. Even if it's just one sentence, to say, at particular time, my child said this, and full stop. We want just that, because we need that in a statement so that the statement can accompany this. We need a statement number. It needs to be recorded. The court will decide. If your husband is innocent, the court will decide. If FSL, this sample that we took, comes back and it says there's nothing, then you would know that your husband is clean. And I was like, please give me a chance. I'll go and speak to my husband. They said, do you really think if he has done this, he will ever admit? And I said, I know him. Even if he can lie to me, I will see it. I've been with this man for 5 years now. We were married for 5 years at the time. So I said, married for 5 years, knowing him for 1.5 years extra, that is 6.5 years. I felt like I knew him that much. They are begging me, giving me a card to say, please, if you change your mind, come anytime. Please, we beg you to decide to open. Just write a statement. Don't say, hey, my husband. Just say the child says this. Only. That's what we ask of you. I said, oh, okay. Please take me home. I'll see you tomorrow. They are taking me home. I'm praying on the way. Denial of a married man. That the husband should not be found by the police as they are taking me home. He should not be home because I feel like they're going to ask him and they're going to arrest him on something that I feel like the doctor has cleared. To me, the doctor has cleared my husband. Even though there is that thing at the back of the mind to say, but why did this child, start such a lie? If a doctor says, creative mind of a 3-year-old, why would it run that side? There's so many lies to start. Why that one in particular? I get home, I feel like my prayers are answered because we get there, the house is still dark, he's still not there. I get into the house, they make sure that I'm safe inside, I'm locked, then they leave. Just as they left, few minutes later, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes, he stopped. And I'm like, I want him to be the one confronting him because me, I know this man for 6.5 years. Me, I know this man even before the 6.5 years while he was being a good guy there. This man is a religious man. This man, I draw strength from him. This man is so faithful. This man is an example. This man is used for so many demonstrations when they want brothers who can come and demonstrate something to show. He's the one that is being used. This man cannot. This man is the father of this child. I've never heard of anybody in my life or anywhere in South Africa saying, my father did this to me. The last time I saw somebody saying, my father did this to me, was on TV, on Oprah Winfrey Show. This happens in America. It does not happen in South Africa and cannot come and start in my house to happen. Denial of a married woman. And then he comes, gets in the house. I'm telling him, come from the hospital. And he says, what do we do in the hospital? He thinks the child complicated because she was sick most the previous night. No, that's not the reason. The reason is the child has said this and this about you. And he's like, the face was like, he got shocked. Ne? That's what I want to see. I want to see that you cannot do this and you'll be shocked if ever something like that was ever said about you. He gets so shocked. He says, what? He leaves me there, goes straight to bed. The child had slept in the police car. He goes straight to the child on the bed and looks at the child. And he's like, hey, whoa. Like, he looks defeated. He's like, and I said, did you do it? And he's like, what do you take me for? He looks at me in my eyes and says, my flesh and blood. How can I ever do that to my own flesh and blood? And for you to think that I'm capable is disappointing. What happens to me? Ends up, like, I don't know. It felt like a balloon, that gets flattened, air out immediately. I was engulfed by shame. I even felt like I was not even supposed to have taken the child to the hospital. I felt so guilty. Like, why did I even, like, and the following morning, he's not talking to me. He's waking up very early. Where are you going? I'm going to my mom's place and your mom's place.
Yeah.
And then for what? No, I'm going to tell them this.
Ah.
I'm going to tell them what you said, and that the child cannot see something like that out of the blue. It's him now. Somebody has done something to our child. And remember, our child past weekend was at my mom's place and at your mom's place. On Friday, we had taken the child to his parents' place. And on Saturday, they had taken our daughter to my mom's side, and then we fetched the child on Sunday. So the child has been on both worlds now. Mama's side, father's side. Mama's side, there are 3 brothers, remember? Father's side, there is a 16-year-old at the time. Male, 16-year-old. He says, between them, somebody has done something to our child, because there's just no way a child can say that. He's the one that tells me that there is no way the child can say that
But he's
out of the blue.
distancing himself from being one of the suspects.
Yes. And now he's going to fight and seek for the suspect. And I am blocking him. I'm like, this child knows how to talk. This child knows everybody by name. My child was very fluent in Sesotho at the time. Even fluent in English, because she was at a crash from birth. Just as I was going back to work at 4 months after my leave, she was at crash. So this child is like talking fluently at 3. She knows everybody by name. This child said you. She did not mention anybody else. So how can we take this and go and point anybody else?
Yeah.
Please, I believe you. If you are trying to prove to me that you have not done this, I think I have believed you already by last night. Can you please not do this? Even this will stay between us. I will never tell anybody, I promise you. And I'm sorry that I took the child to hospital. I doubted you. I'm sorry. He is, for the first time in my life, I see disappointment in his face looking at me. I'm taking it, the disappointment is for me ever thinking that he was capable of this. This man, I'm promising him, I'm begging him, I am doing extra things that I've never done. I'm trying all sorts of things to just, this man took months. During those months, I even fall pregnant with my second child. I don't even know whether I was already pregnant by this time when this thing happened, because it was June of 2004. I gave birth March 2005. So there is a possibility that I'm going to the hospital already, I'm pregnant. I don't even know. Or it happened shortly after.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Because now I was also on a begging
For months.
space. For months begging this man. But he was there for the pregnancy, he's there, but he's sulking, man. There is this sulkage that is there. But eventually, I think we are over this. He plays the same role to the second child, the same way he did with the first child. He's there. It's another daughter. He is the happiest man, happiest father. Born, he's there all the way. Life goes on, and it carries on up until the child turns 8.
The first one or the second one?
The first child. The child turns 8. The child, one day, the child, starts out of the blue. The child who had not bedwetted since she was 2. Because she was forward. That child was so forward with everything. Talking, everything. She was out of a nappy from when she was 2. She was on panties. This 3-year incident that was happening, She was on panties already. So she's 8, starts bedwetting. What is this bedwetting now? He says, she's taking after me. You can go and ask anybody at home, my brothers, my parents, they will tell you, I grew up bedwetting. I'm saying, a child that bedwets does not have a 6-year break. A child that bedwets never even, yes, it's a throughout thing. It cannot stop and then at 6 something happens. This is not normal. I'm a teacher. I've seen this happen at school. Children and when we search, children have been violated. And I'm saying this, I'm not thinking about him, hey, by the way. But he keeps on like trying to shift this for me. Sharp. How this goes on every day, it becomes an everyday now. Every day. And I'm saying we need to take the child to the doctor. And he's like, you like wasting medical aid. Every little thing, you run. And he says with a soft voice, with a very soft, calm voice. He was calm. He's not confronting me. No, he's just saying it in a cool, like, this is nothing. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Fine. As I think after a week or two, the child starts pooping herself now. It takes a step further. I'm taking the child to the doctor. I'm making an appointment to the doctor, and I'm telling him, I've made an appointment. This thing is now taking another level. I'm telling you there's something that's wrong here. And then he says, I'm sorry, I won't be there. I have to go to the head office of Jehovah's Witnesses in Krugersdorp. We have something that needs to happen there. Okay, no, fine. I'll go. I'm taking the child to the doctor in Fanabale Park, Dr. Gina. Dr. Gina, please check my child. Dr. Gina refuses to check my child. And I'm telling him, this child is bedwetting, and now it has escalated to pooping herself. After she comes from school, I have to now pour the water and bath her. At 8, she was in grade 3 or 4. I think it was the beginning of grade 4, if I remember well. Yeah, it was the beginning of grade 4. Doctor says, no, this child, if she is violated, as a male doctor, if I'm going to check her there, it's going to be secondary violation. So it would have been better if you had taken the child to the female doctor. But even better, I have a better idea for you. Let's do this. Let's organize a female psychologist so that they can prepare the child. They can find what happened to the child first and prepare the child for physical examination. If there is any information that they get from the child, that information can be accompanied by the physical examination. And even if there is no information, maybe they can take the child for physical evaluation, but preparing them before that this is going to be done in a way that they are trained to. It makes perfect sense to me. Dr. Gina, gave me a card of a psychologist. I go to a psychologist. Lucky for me, he gave me 2, actually, or 3. But this particular one stood out because it was a black lady like us. I thought, yes, I got a person that I can relate to. Take the child to the psychologist in Fanabale Park. The psychologist, I'm even afraid to mention her name here right now because she failed me as well. I failed my child. She also failed me. Because I'm telling her what the doctor has said, what are the reasons the doctor had referred me to her. And she's like, okay, through play, there is role play that I'm going to do. I'm going to find out what the problem is. And if there's a need, I'm going to make sure that the child goes to the doctor for physical examination. She does her thing, and then her results come. On the day that her results come, ne, I beg this father to come with. We need to go and get the results from we are both parents, Mos.
And also, he's always been a hands-on father, so expecting him to be there is not a new thing.
My sister, we go to the doctor when I flu. We are together. The child has got any minor thing. We are together at all times. So why not this big thing? This is a big thing. And he was not able to go because now he had to go to Jehovah's Witness head office the other day when I took the child to the doctor. So let me not exclude him on this one. This day, I was like, where are you going today? No, I'm not going anywhere. I was like, I asked before.
You can tell him where you want to go.
Yes, I thought, I got him. Let's go. We go there. The psychologist says, there is nothing with this child. What is wrong that her results have shown is that the child was too afraid of the teacher. The child is afraid of the teacher that teaches her. We need to change the child to the school. We need to change the school ASAP because that child is terrified. This child is not afraid. This child is terrified of that teacher. That is the reason why the child is bedwetting. It's stress. Really? Yes. There is such a thing, yes. Okay. Change the school. Same. She even writes a recommendation to the new school. To say, please accommodate this child. She needs a change of environment because the previous environment, like this, it will benefit her. And by this time, I forgot to add something. The results at school started dropping. Together with the pooping and the peeing and so on, the results, she was good, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. That was the last time I saw my child being brilliant at school. Term 1, grade 4, things just started dropping. Before, I think it must have been before the bedwetting or during the bedwetting, my mom goes to school. She used to fetch her because the school was just next to. We used to work far. So by this time, when she attended school, my mother was the one taking her to and fro. As my mom's going there, the teacher calls my mom in to say, your child had 200 rand note. And we don't understand why a parent would give a child a 200 rand note. We asked her where she got it from. She said she got it from her father. Her father gave her a 200 rand note. And my mom is like, no, this child is lying. The father cannot do that. And my mother asked the child, why? And she repeats again, Papa gave me that 200. And Papa comes at night, that evening, my mom asked, hey, the child, I was called, there's a 200 rand note that was confiscated by the teacher from the child, a grade 4 child with 200 rand note, why? And he's like, looks at the child like this, where did you get the money? Why are you saying you got the money from me? Child says, no, I got it from on top of the fridge. Which fridge? Which 200 rand? We never put money on top of the fridge. But he said, oh, that was my money that I had placed on top of the fridge. You took it. Now he's like, first time the child's even seeing the father angry at her. The child has to now adopt the story of the father. Money comes from? On top of the fridge. Yes. So now they're pooping, they watch. That is the same school. The child now is taken from that school to the other school. The child gets better, except for the marks. The performance was never back to original. She gets better. No pooping, no peeing, no bedwetting, nothing. She's okay. Okay. I was over-imagining things. Over the years, without even ever arguing, I would have memory lapses. I would have feelings where I feel like I have been, when you were entered, well, you are not prepared. And I would ask him, did we ever, because I don't remember a thing. And she's like, need to see a psychologist because really, I don't understand what is wrong. You have memory lapses. You forget things. No, you forget important things. You need to see a psychologist. Something is wrong. So even by this now, like I thought maybe violation to the child. And now it's only the child is afraid of the teacher. So now I'm the bad person here in this marriage.
You're the delusional one.
I'm the delusional one. I'm thinking things that are not there all the time. Hey, probably even the first one, maybe the child did not say that. What if I was hearing things? Fine, life goes on. 2010, the child is 9 now. I am sleeping. I'm thinking, I'm dreaming. I am hearing the sounds, but I can't walk. My feet are heavy, but that nightmare where you want to go somewhere fast enough, but you can't go fast enough. It was that feeling, that heavy feeling that I had. This sound is not a good sound that I'm hearing. Our house was big. We had a 5-bedroom house. It was a 4-bedroom house, but one room was extra, so we made a 5th bedroom. So the child is there on the 4th bedroom, which was for the guests. He's there on top of the child. Finding him there, the child seems to be sleeping because the door is open. Ne? As the door is open, the face of the child is facing this direction, but the eyes are closed. The child is stiff, and he stands very slow, like in a slow motion. And I'm asking him, what are you doing? And I'm falling down as he was coming to me this direction, because it's like I can't even explain this, He moved from the child, but slowly. Like he's not even shocked, not like, hey,
Like you caught him.
Yes, it was like slowly. So that slowly for me, hey, guys, I fall. That's the last part I remember. I wake up the following day. Ne? I don't even remember that thing until I am at work around 10 o'clock. There is this thing. I'm like, what nightmare did I have? But I am in pain. My back is in so much pain. I'm waking up with a bad back pain. I woke up with it in the morning. I did not remember the dream in the morning. I remember it while I'm at work. So to me, it's a dream. Cannot be. I can't wait to go home. I don't even remember whether I did ask to go early or something because I was in pain and like this thing was bothering me. I wanted to see the interaction between him and the child. I thought I could see something. I took the child and checked the child. Imagine that violation. And I saw nothing. And in my mind,
you are now going crazy.
I'm dreaming. I'm even dreaming crazy things. It must have been a dream. I think, I can't remember whether it was the same year, after or before, but there is a time when I find the sheets. In the same bedroom, the sheet is bloody. But this happens just after his father was visiting. He had visited us that weekend.
Was he no longer staying with you guys full time?
The father? No, he was just visiting. He used to visit us. His father. My father-in-law.
Okay,
cool. He loved us so much. He used to visit us. He used to visit us more than the mother-in-law.
Okay.
So that weekend, he was there. Ne? During the week, I'm thinking, okay, our father was there. Let me just clean the bathroom, the bedroom, the sheets and everything, so that if another guest comes, they can find this clean. I find the sheet with this stain. The stain is now brownish, but it looks like it was the blood. But you know when blood has stain, stayed for longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
turns
changes
brown.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it may have been the father-in-law. Maybe messed himself up. It was an accident.
Yeah, maybe he had a cut or something.
I swear, I made a connection with the father-in-law because he was there that weekend. And it may even have been the next weekend while I was doing washing that I've been seeing this. So to me,
It's the father-in-law.
yes, I'm taking it. I'm not even telling anybody. My father-in-law don't have to tell anybody that he had an accident. I'm washing it. And then 2012, the child is 11 now. June holidays, I want to clean everything. I do that, throw away old things. I don't know where the plastic bags are, the black plastic bags, refuse bags. He is so hands-on. Refuse was his department. He even knows where they are. He says, go to my toolbox in the garage. I go to the toolbox in the garage. I'm looking for,
Refuse bags.
what do I find? My bag.
Your bag.
My bag. That I haven't, that I haven't seen in years. It's been years that I haven't seen this bag. It could be 3, 4 years that I haven't seen it. My mind says, my bag here, it could have some money in. Let me just check. You know, as women, sometimes some stash of money, nothing. The stash that I'm finding is my child's panties and leggings, white leggings. Blood-stained. There was an effort to wash them. And you know, blood is not easily washed. And maybe the person could not, maybe they put them there thinking they will throw it away. God said, you are not throwing it away. You're going to leave it here. You're going to forget about it. His toolbox, that has been in the garage for years. The toolbox contains my bag with my child's panties, leggings. The denial stops right there. That is where the denial stopped. Because it was like, what is this? And I knew it was her that was wearing those things. But these are not new clothes. And remember, she has a sister. And by this time, I have a 1-year-old son. By this time, I'm finding the toolbox with, now there's even a son. How do I get to 3 children with a person that told me they don't want children? I'm saying, no, this child needs a sibling. What if something happens to us? They need someone that they can relate to. And he ends up saying, okay, after 4 years, we have a second child again. And then after that one, who is 2 girls? We need a boy that can carry a surname. I had to beg him for 6 years before he can say, okay, then we had a child. It's just as the son comes, 1-year-old, I find this. The denial stops right there. Because what is this? I go to him, I'm showing him, he's not surprised. I'm saying to him, let's go to ask the child, what is this? He's not surprised, but he's not saying anything. Nothing. Let's go, because the child is June holidays. They were at my mom's place at the time. Let's go. And he says, no, I'm going. I have an assignment. It was a Wednesday. It was the 4th of July, 2012. It was a Wednesday. He has an assignment, Jehovah's Witness assignment, task that he needs to do at church because we're meeting at a congregation that day. So that is so important that he can't stop so that we attend the child's problem. And let me tell you what the denial is like. It stops now that something is wrong with the child, but it still doesn't say it's him. That's the strangest thing.
It says the problem is
The
outside.
denial says something is wrong with the child. I was not imagining things. This is real. But it doesn't say it's him. I'm going to my mom alone and to his mother. I fetch his mother. I'm showing the mothers together. The mothers are like, yo, guess what his mother says? Your child like boys. And I've been telling her to stop telling us about boys. When she comes from school, she tells us about boys. How does this happen that she knows this? I fetched the son. I get from wherever the son was. Now there is a son, the Zengele son in the family. I'm fetching Mama Zala now this time. Mama Zala, come and help me with your son that's going to carry you. And Mama Zala stays with us Monday to Friday. We're taking her to her place on Fridays. She comes back Monday. So she stays with us. When the child goes to school, comes back to school, she finds Gogo at home. She is now in grade what? She was in grade 6. She was in grade 6.
Because you're saying she was 12.
She was 11. She was 11. But she started school early. Okay. She started school at 5. So she's in grade 6. So according to Gogo, as she comes back from school, all she talks about is boys. So this is not surprising. That's the mother. Okay. And now they both agree, take the children to the doctor and take the 2 of them. We take the 2 children to the doctor. Papa, let's go. Let's take the child to the doctor. The mother said, he says, I'm too tired. I'm coming from a night shift. Because after that assignment of his, on Wednesday, he went to night shift. And then in the morning, he's too tired. I give him an assignment and at night he went to work. So in the morning, he's too tired. Sorry. Please take them. I'll stay. Denial doesn't say, why are you avoiding this big matter? No, says, take your children. I take my children to the doctor. Doctor confirms the oldest child has been violated. And not once, repeatedly. Haibo, this is my friend who is a doctor that I'm taking the children to because I don't trust anybody. I still want to save my marriage and what. I don't even know what is it I was trying to save. I swear to God, I took those 2 children to a friend of mine who is a doctor. And she was like, why did you do this to me? Because really, you have put a burden on me. She says, I can't make any report. This has to be official. Take this child to the rape clinic, to Duzela Care Center in Ferena Kopano Hospital. Let this child be checked by the district surgeon. I do that. Same confirmation. The doctor keeps us there and says, tell me, that the father that you are living with in the house, how is he related to this child? No, that's her father. Are you sure that's the biological father? I said, yes. Are you sure? I said, yes. I'm the one that gave birth to that child. That child, I gave birth to her in marriage, 2 years into marriage. That is the father. And she's like, I don't want to accuse your husband of anything. But there is something wrong because your child says she has been dreaming of her father doing the damage that I'm seeing here. She says, come here. She shows me the different diagrams that are there of a person that has been violated, that has never been, that was violated for the first time. This is how they look. Maybe twice, this is how they look. Your child looks like a woman that is married, that is having a regular conjugal rights with the husband. If I were to check you as a married woman, this is what I'm expecting to see. The strange thing is I'm finding this in your 11-year-old child. How does that happen under your care as a mother of this child? Are both of you parents of this child? I said, yes, we are. And she says, now I kept her here for the whole hour because she keeps telling me about dreams, and dreams don't do this to children. So this cannot be a dream. Why is she telling me about a dream? I want her to tell me who did this to her. And she tells me, I kept her here. I finished checking her a long time ago. She still sings the same song. The only thing that she thinks could have done that is a dream, because she had repeated dreams where her father features doing things to her. And my heart drops. Because at that particular time, it's not just now the denial of my child has been hurt. Now is the denial that's dropping off. I am married to a monster, and I have been convinced that I was imagining things the whole time, and I wasn't. Not mad, not crazy. This child has been violated. Do you hear it? The doctors. An 11-year-old child has to have the same damage that is expected in a married woman. And the only person that she's and the doctor asked me, where is he now? Is he not supposed to be here with you? Why is he not worried about what's happening to the child? Sure. I thought I've healed. And I thought I've healed. I've repeated this so many times. I've done so many interviews. I don't know why this is coming back so hard. There was a time when I was able to tell this story without crying, guys. And the past weeks have not been easy. Yeah. This time is at night, because we had started at the police station first after coming from. Before I forgot something. Come from the doctor, my friend. After she had checked the child, I'm going back home. Remember, he was sleeping. And he was too tired. So from the doctor, the one who is a friend, the stupid fool in me still goes home to him to go report what? What kind of foolish act is that? Guys? What did I expect? I go to him. He pretends to be sleeping. And I know him. I lived with him. By this time, it was what? It was 15 years that we've been together. 13 years in marriage by that time. I know him when he's sleeping. Usually when he is fast asleep, his eyes are half open. That's how I know he's sleeping. His mouth is open. Those people that always when they sleep, if you know he's fast asleep, his eyes must be half closed. His mouth is open. My husband just closed his mouth. The eyes are closed. So I know. You know, I just came and I stood there by the bed. Like I could not believe my eyes. What is this? What's happening here? Why are you pretending to be asleep? But it's me, in the voice in me. Like I'm not. Remember, I said we're not arguing with this guy. We don't do arguments. We talk.
Yeah.
You know, when I look back at that time right now, I was like, because I was a opera fan a lot. There was a saying that she used to like say, if something is too good to be true, it is indeed too good to be true. My marriage was too good to be true. A marriage without problems. My marriage started having problems in 2010, where I even find out there is another woman, but that he works with, a colleague, which are things that I don't even want to talk about, because for me right now, they were nothing. Yeah. Like they are still nothing. Like he could have done that. He could have stayed doing that. It's fine. Not our child. Another thing that I'm forgetting is, while we were still dating, this man had said, out of the blue, you know, I'm suspecting my brother that he may be molesting his child. I was like, what? Why do you think that? No, I didn't even ask why. I remember I did not ask why. I got shocked. Like, how can... No, man. I felt like he was... Guys, that thing was too much for me to comprehend, I think. Because it was a conversation that I was not even willing to engage anymore with. Like, it was outrageous. It's something that, like, how can you think that about your brother? And I would later discover that this thing runs in the family. It runs in the family. I won't get into other people's details, but it does run in the family. So it's at night. Let me go back to now the doctor after checking the child. Why are you here alone? Where is he? Is he not worried about the child? No, he's at work. Isn't this important than work? So that's doctor trying to show me that, there is something, woman, wake up. And she keeps on saying, I'm not accusing him of anything. She said that several times, but she would propel some questions that are making me think, thought-provoking questions. And then we leave that night. The police are given a kit. Rape kit again, now for the second time. So
Just got some warm water for you there.
So, taking the children in the car, seeing a truck coming by, timing the truck, deciding this is too big. Don't want to go back to him. He was working a 2:10 shift again that time. I know I'm going to find him at home because we had just left at 11 o'clock at the hospital. It's a 20-minute drive to home. He was working Jamestown, so he arrived by, he usually drove a 1 hour drive. By 11, he's at home. So I do know for sure I'm going to find him there. What's going to happen? Well, I can't look at him in his eyes. I want to go to my mom. It's at 11 midnight. Do I go back home to my mom, go and shock her? What if she drops and dies? Because she used to love this guy. She used to call him her son. She used to introduce him as her first son everywhere we went. Many people would even think he's my sibling because also there were too many similarities between him and all my siblings, even my brothers, even my father, that dumped us for 20 years not seeing us. The day I went with my husband to go see him for the first time, when I said to my father, "Who's this?" he said, "This must be your brother. This must be so-and-so, your brother." That's how he looks like us. That's how he got to be passed as my mother's first son all the time. People even believed that. This man did not want to hear anything that has to do with my mom. She would jump. He would jump, and it has to be done now and then. I didn't know that was part of the grooming. The people that do things like this to people groom. They don't just groom. They are victims. They groom everybody to gain the trust of everybody so that they create a safe environment for themselves to do anything that they can do and get away with it. The child or the victim, when they have to speak up against the person that is so loved and adored by everyone, becomes so difficult.
To believe.
Yes, it becomes so difficult. Even the victim may even feel just like, who can I tell? These people, they love it. Yeah. And then the victim would just close in. It becomes more difficult. This is not their character. That's not how they are. That is just a mask that they have. For as long as they have this thing that is good going for them, they keep it that way. They would do everything, go extra mile for everybody, just until their thing is exposed. That's when you get to see them, the real them. He switched like nobody's business. First of all, I go home now. Okay, the truck is here. Switching lanes, coming from the hospital, deciding I'm not going to my mother, I'm not going to him. He will explain, because already he knows, because only now I'm connecting the dots. This is why he's not accompanying me to this. This is why, it's because he knows. So he will let me leave him to explain to the people why his family just let me die with all my kids. As I switched, I did not time enough, I think, because I had a 22-meter truck saying, pop up with those horns. Those horns. Pop! And the sound made me swerve back again to my lane. And I said, oh God, you don't want me to leave. You're going to handle this. Because I can't. I don't have the energy. I was finding my own solution. You are disturbing my own solution. So please, I'm taking this. I'm giving it to you. You carry it from here. Because I don't have the energy. And he did that. Because I get home. He comes out. He was expecting us. He is calling now. As we are coming closer, he's calling, as if now he cares. Where are you? I'm not answering the calls. And when I get to the gate, he is now outside. He has already opened the garage. He comes to the gate, opens for us. And I come in, put the car in the garage, and all the children get out. They take a small baby, get into the car, into the house. Guys, I was at the hospital with the 3 children that night. Because Akiriana, he was going to go to work at 2:10. So now I was coming from checking the children, telling him, and then now I must go to the police station. From the police station, now I'm coming from the hospital at midnight. And now I'm with my chickens. I'm with my chickens everywhere. So they get into the house. He greets the oldest child. And the oldest child decides not to greet him. And she was like, and then she passed. The others passed. I think the second one was carrying the smallest one. And they get into the house, and I sit in the car. I cried on the steering wheel like nobody's business. He comes, he opens the door, he touches my hand. Yeah. Like a person that is afraid. Not a person that is afraid that you may burst. He touched me like that. He does not ask me what's wrong. Because I think he already knew what's wrong. And I said, how can you do this to your own child? He closes the door immediately. He gets into the house. He goes and sits in front of the TV with no care in the world. I cried. He's no longer even closing the garage door now. He left it like that, just got into the house. After crying a lot, I'm thinking, what if now he's in the house doing something to the child that you have spoken? Only then my senses come back to say, hey, now you have damaged so much for so long. Now Mother Hen needs to step up and you need to protect the child. We don't know what he's doing to the child in the house. Stop crying, get into the house. Get into the house. He's here in the lounge. Watching TV, relaxing, in a relaxed mood. I come and sit next to him. I said nothing. Nothing. He steps up, goes to the bedroom. I follow him. Everybody turns their back. We did not say anything. That's how I would like to take it up to here. I don't have the energy from here onwards, except for I revisit that moment. I'm asking myself, what was stopping me from just boiling a kettle? Just a kettle. You know, I had, I don't know, that moment tortured me and tormented me for so long. As to, this man ignored you like that and you allowed him to ignore you like that on such a huge matter. What was stopping you just to boil a kettle? To a point where I used to have nightmares, dreams where I'm boiling the water, I want to burn him. But I still can't burn him even in my dreams. And that's where the curtain went off. To summarize this from here onwards, it was now police case opened, rape kit sent to FSL, results, presumable semen could be detected on the exhibits. The policeman, the investigating officer says, there is no way a father can do that to their own child. Let's go ask your brothers. Your brothers must be the ones that must answer you. Uncles are the ones that are used to doing this, not the father. How can that man do that? And that man says, when you wanted to divorce him. So this is your ploy to want to divorce him, and now you want to use me. You want to use me to think a child. Your child says she's dreaming. I can't arrest your husband over your dreams, the dreams of your child. The dreams are not a crime in South Africa. Why is the child dreaming? To think I know those dreams myself. I'm fully understanding what dreams my child is talking about. But I could not understand, why is she talking about dreams? And why also I thought this was a dream when I saw it. I thought there were demons. Jehovah's Witness will be told about, like, maybe there are demons. I searched in the house, they would tell you that sometimes maybe you have brought something in the house that has brought in the demons. Because what is this? Why is the child saying demons and to dreams? Why am I also thinking that was a dream? Why do we, and the day I sat down with the child, I said, please tell me about your dreams. And she tells me about, I said, please, all the dreams that you can remember. Because I would like to see if that one that I know can't match with this one. And she comes with so many dreams. One day I had a dream and it was him and this and that. And then she mentions just that one that assured me. She said, in this dream, I can hear a machine that's going zzz. The machine that's going zzz is a vibrator that we use. That's our sex toy. So this man has used that to our child as well. That's when I knew that it's not a dream. This is how I know why would sometimes his underwear would be just full of semen. This is how I get to know that is why sometimes would wake up on the bed and I would just see a big stain as if like there is, but when you try and see, this is not urine. But we did not do anything. On our bed, this is not urine. What is this water for? And ask him, he says he doesn't know. It's like, now I'm getting to understand this man, okay, even before, like it was still a puzzle at the time. I come to how do we end up knowing that it was a drug? A child gets to be taken from one psychologist to another, until she's taken to what we call forensic psychologist. Forensic psychologist chases me away and says, I need this child for a day. No influence. Please, when you bring this child, don't tell her anything, to say anything. Don't, please. I just need the child as pure as she is. She takes the child for the whole day, do series of tests. The child does not even notice that this test. Yes, she thinks. Now this is a forensic psychologist, the person that knows what they are doing. And time comes for me to fetch the child. She says, please take away the child. We need to talk. take the child away, come back, and we talk. And she says, tell me, haven't you seen, she shows me the different kind of pills. Haven't you seen such pills in your home? I think it was on some sheet of paper. So these are date rape drugs. I said, I've seen these in my husband's backpack. This person was the healthiest in the house. The only thing that was wrong with him was sinus. And he would not even go to the doctor. He was the person that was least using the medical aid. The medical aid used to be finished by us. And now seeing these, recognizing that I've seen these in his backpack, and I would ask him where did you get these pills? And he would tell me he gotten them from the clinic at work. He says he's trying to save the medical aid, so whenever he's not feeling well, he goes, because he was a future interner, he used to work at some company, so the company had a clinic inside. So you tell me that he got in those from there. But these I recognize from there. And the secretary says, any eye drops that I kept in the home? Yes. Who's using the eye drops? Him. Have you ever seen him use them? No. They get finished? Yes, and then he would go and buy some more. Yes, he had some, these people who do not have black and white eyes, that have got eyes that you can see they've got problems. So he's an adult. I can't say, let me see you when you use your eye drops. I'm assuming he's using them. Only to find out eye drops have been used on us. And eye drops just in plain water, you cannot detect them. Plain water. Did you know that? It was the first time I heard about it.
So he was using...
This is now when another incident comes in where I had found a strange medication in the home. At the time, I had a helper. I thought it was the helper's things. These helpers thinking, ooh, what is she trying to do? I'm taking it out, putting there. I'm going to show the head of the house that the helper is doing things to us now because what is this? And he says, it's mine. I think he just thought, I'm not going to allow this one confront the helper, the poor helper. Or maybe the helper even knows other things that are worse. And he was ensuring that, and he said, this is mine. This is yours. What are you doing with it? And he failed to tell me. And remember, this is a person that's always calm. A monotonous person. It's mine. It's here. I can do whatever I want. It's here with it. Yeah. So, he's not defensive. No. He's not telling you anything. And I'm thinking, no. We are Jehovah's Witnesses. We don't use medications that are like this. What is this? Muti, what is this man doing now? I'm calling the elders. The elders come, I tell them, I'm hoping it's there, I'm going to show them. It's nowhere to be found. They ask him, where is it? He says, I threw it away. Why? It's mine, I can do as I please. The first time I'm hearing him talk like that with the elders. Guys.
My sister, so when you are talking about the eye drops,
yes,
is he putting those whatever things in the eye drops?
I don't know how he used them to this day. I can't say he was using this one this way. I just know that now I got answers to why we are thinking everything is a dream.
Because you were being drugged.
He made sure from when the child was 3 that she can talk. I'm not going to stop my habit. As from now onwards, she's not going to tell anyone ever anymore. She's not going to know what happened to her. But I'm still going to carry on with what I'm doing. So I'm going to make sure they all sleep. After everything, he moves out. The police don't want to arrest him because they can't arrest him over dreams. They rather wait for FSL. FSL results will come for after how long? Yes, they took years. Do you know? They took 5 years. 5 years.
For the results?
5 for the results to come back. I've been running and running and running, only to find out that the results came back a month after.
But they didn't.
A month after. Yes. But I got the results after running and running. I've got even people that were accompanying me to go and ask, and we were told the results are not back. FSL has got a backlog, all those stories. And I used to believe them. When we checked the date was a month after the police, the investigating officer had set on that report.
Why?
Obvious reasons. Obvious reasons. Your husband told me that you always wanted to divorce him. So now you have set this as a ploy. You want him to go to jail so that you can be left with the house and the cars and everything. And you want to use me. That's what he said.
Okay, so 5 years later, when you eventually get a hold of the report, what was it saying?
Presumable semen could be detected from the exhibits.
And after?
And after that, now the next step. He had promised the policeman, when I was like fighting to say, there was no such a thing. He is lying. This person has done this to the child. Look at the report at the hospital, says the child has been damaged. The child has been dreaming only this person. Does it make sense to you? Says, but I can't arrest him over a dream. Do you understand? The child does not say it's him. The child says his dream's him. So I can't arrest him. I'm not allowed to arrest a person over a dream. So we'll have to wait then for the results from FSL. When they come back, I'll ask him, and your brothers, the samples. He even, Warrant Officer Mwekezi at the time, he's a captain now. FSL into FCS Vereniging was the one that treated me that way. Was the one that messed up this case. I took it up with FCS head office in Ireton. I took it up with the provincial office in Parktown. They did all that. They even referred me to IPID. Took it up with IPID. Took it up with some, I'll send you some I forgot, noodle point, what they call it. I was made to write there and even do what they call standing 101. Standing 101 is when a police official has done something and you are reporting him, you have to report with what you call standing 101, report everything, what happened. I did all that. Never got a response from them. Instead, the last time I heard, he is now a captain. So he is still free. Presumable semen was found. Presumable semen could be detected from the
test.
Yes, from the exhibits that were sent in 2012. I'm finding this report in 2016, at the end of 2016. Only then the case is being registered. All this time, this guy did not even want to register. For the whole time, it was inquiry number 8 of 7/2012. From 2012, when it happened, he refused to register it. The child has been raped, but we are refusing to register the case. You keep it as an inquiry.
Until 2016.
You say you are waiting for the report from FSL. The report from FSL comes. You sit on it. You play with me, the mother of the victim, the complainant. You tell me so many times that, no, it's not here, it's not here, it's not here, up until 2016.
How did you find out that he actually had the report?
I had reported him at Ireton.
Okay.
the head office of FCS, and Family Crimes Unit and Sexual Offences, yes. Then they took it up, and then this was referred to the brigadier there. The brigadier said, hey, bring that file. When the file is opened, here's the report. The report dated, and then they asked him. That is why he said this in a meeting where there was everybody, including the brigadier, that I wanted to use him to divorce my husband because I had been planning to divorce my husband for years, and that year I had filed for the divorce, so I wanted to ensure that he loses everything. I stay with everything while he goes to prison. That is why he never took that case seriously. He took it that I wanted to use him. He repeated that, which was not the first time he had said it. He had said it to me in 2012 already. But what I like is he said that now in a sitting where there was everybody, even his seniors, as an excuse as to why. Yes, he could not act upon it. He felt like he was used. He said, according to him, the perpetrators were my brothers. I was protecting my brothers. So, that's how he got free. Now, he was instructed to shift the file as is to someone else. Somebody was assigned. But somebody was assigned who is still his friend. They are still in the same. That office is very small. So the next person was assigned. What came out of that? Nothing. Because now they had to take the sample of blood from him in comparison to the sample that has been presumably found. And what happens? They take the sample. The people that have been working with these crimes for many years, all of a sudden, they couldn't take a sample. Whatever sample that got to FSL, it had no DNA whatsoever. FSL, I don't even understand how. They said they took a swab, but that swab did not have any DNA of anybody. But the swab was taken and was FSL had to send a person directly from FSL to come and take the sample from him. FSL itself, imagine the cost of the state. All of a sudden, the people that work with this for years could not take a sample from him. Do you see it was a plan already? My sister, I have everything as proof. I have evidence of everything that I'm saying here. And then, now it took some while before we get the results. The results we get as well are saying no DNA was found. Now that was the second time. That the one that's the comparison now between his DNA.
The one that was
found. It does not say no match. It says no DNA
found.
Yes. So
So what is the situation?
Oh, it says no male DNA. So it says no male DNA found.
On the sample which was taken from him?
I don't know. The result says no male DNA. So I think the report is now the comparison. So the comparison now it's stating that the sample they have, no male DNA was found. It's like now they are insinuating that the first report was a lie. There was no semen in the first place. On the clothes of the child, the only DNA that was found was, so they can't compare. They've got nothing to compare now with this. I don't even understand that myself, but that's what the report, I have it. That report, I have it, I'll show you. It says no male DNA was found. So it's not talking even about, it's suggesting there was not even a need to compare. But the first report said presumable semen was found, could be detected on the exhibits. 5 years goes. On the 6th year, no. Okay, now I'm complaining to FSL to say, no. These two results are not matching. What's happening here? You are making a lot of noise everywhere. I'm going to every station, every TV station, every radio station. I'm knocking at doors. Sorry. Until the FSL sends 2 people. They say, we want the samples. We need to go and retest the samples themselves. The samples have disappeared into thin air. Into thin air. I am told they are destroyed after a period of time, but there needs to be a track as to they moved from here on this day to there, FSL, then they were sent back to this station, and then on this day they were destroyed. There is no such such track. The track is there, SAP 13 of Vanabel Park. There is a book. I could find there is a tracking number, PA number. It is there. It shows the parcel going to FSL. The parcels that came back, it's not appearing anywhere. No way. So those physical evidence, the only physical evidence that could take him and send him to jail, it's not there. What's there is the dreams. Dreams are not illegal in South Africa. So that's how he is free up until today.
So now, as we speak, excuse me, how is the child?
The child is fairly okay, but is battling with depression. Now and then he gets relapses of depression, but he functions most of the time. As hard as it is, although I think maybe another thing that helps him, that helps her, sorry. In our discussion, because now and then, to see where she is, we have discussions. I had apologized to her. I had written a letter to her when she was 12 with the advice of my therapist at the time to say, write this letter and give it to her when she's 14. I don't know why did he suggest 14, but I did that. Maybe it's because she has started her periods and so on. She's getting now straight into puberty, and this may affect her. So I gave her a letter at 14 where I apologized verbally, repeatedly. Each time I get a chance, I do apologize to her for the 3-year-old incident, because I feel like had I acted at the time, had I not been manipulated or allowed myself to be manipulated at the time, had I agreed to what the policemen were suggesting at the time, I could have saved my child. It could have ended there. She would not even remember anything. Because I think at 3 years, she would be unlikely to remember that. Because even now, she does not remember that incident. She hears it from me. So we talk. So the only thing that frustrates her of the whole thing is she does not understand why. She feels like she has to understand. She has to remember it happening. She says she remembers the pain. She remembers the wetness. She remembers the dreams. She remembers that she would wake up in the morning, run to the bathroom to clean herself so that they don't get to see the wetness. She does not remember the blood, but the wetness, she says, the wetness had happened. She would wake up wet, sticky wet. She describes it as sticky. But it frustrates her that why is she not remembering it as conscious thing that has happened, while like consciously. She does not doubt that he has done that to her. She understands that definitely he was dragging us, as the forensic psychologist had suggested. because it was the only reasonable thing. Now, how do I know that definitely he was? After he had moved out, because he moved out almost immediately. Kanti, all this time, he had been planning a move already. While he was seeing things are getting hot, he was finding a place to stay. The minute the police, guys, there is a lot. We'll talk about it another time. There was a time when he wanted to hand himself over to the police after I've called a meeting after the police. The case has been opened already. So I called a family meeting, telling his father, his mother, he admitted in front of them. And he even said he was going to hand himself over to the police the following day. The mother says, you are never going to do that. Your brother has died in custody already. I'm not going to have the second child dying in custody. You are not going anywhere. You are never. This was us against them. So we are going to deny that you ever admitted this. So you're not handing over yourself to the police. We agree, we meet there. When we get there, he's a concerned father that's going to check out the case is going. He's no longer handing himself over to the police. He's no longer admitting. Another meeting, or he calls a meeting with the elders. The elders are saying,
the church.
Yes. The elders are saying, if he goes to jail, do you know that he is going to be raped?
Their concern is that...
And you're still not sure. And they are saying, the one thing that I will never forgive of them and of the church is, for the first time in that meeting, I'm discovering that 3-year incident that I promised him I will never tell anybody. The same way he wanted to go and tell the parents before, he wanted to go first, before I can go and report. Actually, Konak Monang, he was hitting me with a first man strategy. He went to the elders and told them, my wife said, I'm doing this to the child. And I'm discovering this only after 8 years. That they knew about it. So I'm asking them, what do you think was his purpose of you telling him, if you did not call us at the time, why did you not call me and ask me? Because clearly, if I am accusing my husband of such things, that means I have a problem and it's a family problem. You were supposed to counsel us. We needed counseling. I needed counseling for me to see the need not to accuse my husband of things that do not exist. They say, he said to them, wait for her to come and tell you. Please don't ask her. And they said they had to tell the overseer, their overseer, that visits the congregations once in a while, once every 6 months. He's the one that's above them. And they told him that we have a situation at Zengele's place. The husband says this, and the wife is accusing, and now the husband says we should not intervene, we should wait for the wife to come. So how best can we work with this situation? They say the overseer at the time said, he's the head of the house, listen to him. Do things according to how the head of the house wants to be done. So do you see that I was not the only one that was manipulated? This man managed to manipulate even the elders of the congregation, even the highest person. 8 years, I'm seeing these people every day. None of them are thinking of. Then this particular time when they tell me that if he goes to jail, he will be raped. Only then they are telling me that, and the 3-year incident, we knew about it. He had told us about it. And this is how we dealt with it, because the overseer said we should do it this way. As the head of the house, we had to follow his instructions. I said, so what do you think was his purpose of him coming and telling you, and you not, like he was telling you for what? So only then they could see that it was a strategy. But it's a strategy that we need to keep here.
Yeah.
They told me I was not supposed to go to the police, was not supposed to open the case, was supposed to come to them. We were going to work this together with the word of God, the word of God that is managing to cut between where the soul meets the what and deals with the conscience of the person. They can find the truth from him, not the police.
Hey.
Them could have. But now you have done this step, there is nothing that we can do. We're not going to tell you to close the case, but just know that we're supposed to start with us. And they worked the matter. And to this day, I suspect that he had confessed to them. I have that strong suspicion that he did. But because they had seen that I've already went to a place where they feel it's not supposed to.
And also they're thinking about themselves to say that
Yes.
it's bad for the image of the church.
The church.
The image of the church comes first.
Everybody else
You would
after.
rather die than have the image of the church being tainted. That's how religious people work.
That is why I want nothing to do with the church right now.
Are you living?
And they make as if, they make as if they own God. Because when you leave them, they will tell you, you are leaving Jehovah. It's not the Jehovah that has angered you. It's this person that has done this to you. It's not Jehovah. You are leaving them, you're leaving Jehovah. They
But
forget
you were
that.
with their Jehovah the whole time, and this is what has been happening to your children.
While he was watching Jehovah as well. Guys, I grew up in that church. I am the fourth generation. What is it that I did so wrong that God allowed this to happen to me? I ask him all the time. To this day, I'm still waiting for the answer. God knows, Jehovah knows, I've spoken to him, I'm still talking to him. I'm expecting the answer first before I can ever, I'm not stepping in any church until I get the answer as to what is it. I've lived a clean life. As a child, I could not even celebrate my birthdays. I could not, we were those children that, and we were like following it like religiously like that. I got married at 26. Living my life like I was every day knocking at people's doors, telling them about the kingdom of God. I met this man within the church. What did I do that much for me to deserve a man like that? I'm waiting for the answer. Before then, there is no church I'm stepping into. I talk to him all the time.
This
God. I know I talk to him all the time. And I'm asking more questions than any other thing. Because really, this has destroyed us. Not just me, not just my daughter that's affected, the other two children as well. Right after the father has moved out, the second one gave me a phone one day, crying and saying, Mama, please ask forgiveness from Daddy. Whatever you did to her, tell him you're sorry.
Why?
Because she was little, she was still small to understand what was happening. And this man created an environment, like I said, for a good father. She felt at a loss and she was blaming me. Somewhere in the conversations, maybe not understanding what's happening, she's now figuring out that this mother has done something for my father to have left us. And they've been affected. Even the child, the smallest one, has been badly affected. Right now, he longs for his father. Right after exams, we sat him down. For the first time, we had to explain to him what happened. in terms, because now he's now 13, about to turn 14. So I thought he is now at least in a stage where he can understand. And he fully understood, but still he told us he still wants his father. He says he wants to go and live with him. Do you understand? He says he longs to have a father. He does not care about what happened. And he loves his sister a lot, a lot. Actually, he's the closest to that sister more than anyone. But you can feel that still he manages to step out of what is done to the sister to, I need my father still. Do you understand that we are all affected? Even that child.
Did you eventually get divorced to this guy, or you guys are still married?
Guess what? He divorced me. How about that? Ask me, why should I wait for him to divorce me? Because I wanted to prove that policeman wrong. To say, I've never wanted to divorce this man. I'm not going to divorce him. Each time I would go there, he would say that. I would say, show me, where is it? Where did I divorce? Where did I file the divorce? It was my argument all the time with him, all the time. The following year, he served me with summons. While I was busy fighting the case, trying to prove to the investigating officer that, I never wanted to divorce this man. He beat me to it. He divorced me first.
Yo, my sister, in closing, where are you now and the children, and how would you like, because I do believe that you've done your part. What do you feel like needs to be done for you? Because I feel like you really need, to get your closure and get the help that you need. What do you think needs to be done now to lay this whole thing to rest for you? How can the people best assist?
I don't think at this point there's anyone that will ever assist. Because according to South African law, I do know dreams don't stand in court. My daughter is 23 at this point right now. She still remembers it as dreams. And she said to me, I cannot go in court and lie and say, yes, he did it to me on this day. Because in court, they want you to now tell on which day, what happened, how did it start, when again, all those details. She says, I will not be able to provide those details. Yeah. I cannot say consciously.
She can.
The only physical evidence, it's not found anywhere. And they destroy them. So there was an effort to destroy those somewhere, because they even destroyed the paper trail. So they went in FSL, they were checked, and samples were, but they are not there. Second thing, it's not matching. It's not even, it's saying something totally different from the first. Do you understand? There's an effort. So I'm thinking, this person notices that if this case can match, he will be now charged with, you have delayed the case. You understand? It's a case on its own. Why did you delay it? Why did you sit on the report? Now this person, there is a case, there's a match, you delayed. So he has made conscious efforts to ensure that the latter does not happen, so that the whole thing cannot be complete. The case is still open, it remains open. So the only thing that I'm hoping for is that one day he will get the strength, I don't know whether to call it the strength, to admit to what he had done. Because I wanted to say something I forgot. I keep on forgetting this. You know, this thing end up working on you end up looking like you're not well mentally.
It consumes you.
Yeah. After he had moved out, I'm going back to that point, we had found a syringe. I also have a picture of that syringe as well. a syringe that was used up, that you could tell that it had been used. And now I remember that we used to wake up with, like, when it's like you've been bitten by mosquitoes. But it would be most of the time around the same place. These mosquitoes are beating us around the same place. And all of us, including the baby. The same. And I would think, and he would be the only one without mosquito bites. And we used to joke in the house to say, he's got bitter blood. The mosquitoes in the house are never biting him. They're biting including the baby. So that's how I know that this syringe may have been used on
all three of you.
Because we have to all sleep so that he can do as he pleases. That is why he was not closing that door that day. He was like, that one I know is not going to come here. No one will come here. Because I think a normal person would close the door if they are doing whatever they are doing. That's like that. So hence, he was like, sure. No one will come here. So unfortunately now, in maybe the dosage that I got that day was not enough. I don't know.
Maybe your system was now getting used to whatever it was giving you guys.
Don't know. So, yeah. And I woke up with a backache that ended up with me getting a spine operation. I have a spine operation that I'm living with right now. Living with constant pain ever since that day. Yeah. So there is nothing much that people can help me with. Shame. Except for the ball is in his court. We are waiting for him. We decided to release ourselves from him and forgive him because it was consuming. It was consuming. I'm talking about it not because I've got nothing against it. Like, I see him, even in June this year, I saw him. He's nothing. I feel nothing when I see him because I have forgiven him. There's no anger. There's nothing towards him. But I know. What I've seen in June, I know that the day is coming. And I just pray that he doesn't die before he does the right thing. So what's the purpose of me talking so much about this? I'm creating an awareness. This is not an outstanding thing. This is not a miracle that happened to my family alone. Such things are happening around the world, around the country. I'm creating awareness because there are many women out there that are seeing things, that are thinking, are dreaming. There are children out there that things are happening to them, that are thinking that they are dreaming. They don't know. We are living with people, I don't want to say men, because sometimes I think in other families it's women who are doing that. Hence, I'm going to use people. We are living with people that are sick. We've got sick people. There are more sicker men than women, but both genders, guys, I don't know whether it's the devil doing whatever to the human society, but it's bad. So I want to create awareness. Another thing is, there is a constant thing that people would say, somebody said the child was raped, the child was taken to the doctor, and the child was checked. There was nothing. So they lied about that somebody. I would like to create an awareness to say it is possible for people to do their things on the child without even penetrating. So when the child says, I'm violated, take them seriously. You may clean open and see the hymen. The doctor will teach you, here's the hymen. I ended up knowing, here's the hymen. I checked for it so many times in that period of 8 years. In that period of 8 years, I found it there. Until such time where I was like, there's nothing that's happening here. It's all in my mind. Let me stop violating the child, because each time you check the child, and the child is growing. Now, each time you want to say, open, let me see. So I ended up just checking when I'm cleaning the child to see if maybe she says issue or something. Sometimes the child won't say issue because she was not penetrated. People do things right next to the child's either thighs or whatever place, and then they would do their thing. That's it. And then, so if a child says anything has happened to her, that sounds, looks like that. If you see a strange liquid on the child, it may not be blood, be worried, because that could be. Don't say, hey, what is that? Go and clean yourself. Try to know what is that, because semen would have some strange, either it's shiny or it's visible even on the skin. If it's left on the skin, there is something that's visible. So if you see something like that on the child, be worried. Want to know where it's coming from. If you see semen on the child's clothes, panties, even on a dress, if you see a liquid that is strange, just keep it safe. If there is nothing, just keep it safe. Don't wash things. If you find stains in your house that you don't know, on the sheets or whatever, fold that sheet. It's fine. It's just one sheet. Go buy another one. Fold that sheet. Put it away. You never know when you may need to use it. You never know when it may need to be tested, because it can be a link that can, maybe had I saved that sheet, now that they have lost this one, maybe that sheet could come in handy to say, what is this? So I don't know. So that's the awareness that I'm trying to do. Listen to the child the first time. Act as soon as possible. Don't think you are sick. These people would like to think when you are mentally sick, when you are, they manipulate you into thinking that. Actually, they are just creating a safe space for themselves to carry on doing their work undisturbed.
Flourish.
When you must doubt yourself. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much for summing that up for me, because I actually wanted to get to that, to say what is the biggest lesson that you can teach out there, but you've covered that. And I really appreciate you coming here to share with us the awareness, because I feel like a lot of us are actually going to be learning from this, because the fact that we should listen to the children and also not take things lightly, I think a lot of us are ignorant in that regard. But from this lesson, and also just trusting your instinct to say it is never wrong, I appreciate you sharing with us. I know that it took a lot from you, and you coming all the way here, even though I had to hey, my sister, you need to come. I really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much for joining in. It breaks my heart, because I was hoping that as you are sharing your story, it's going to get to a point where you say that justice was served. But with what we have, I feel like, okay, we're going to have to work with what we have. And I'm glad that you guys have reached a point of healing and forgiveness, and also being able to be open with all your children and share with them what has happened, because I feel like this is the biggest gift you can give them under the circumstances. But anyway, with that said, thank you so much. Guys, please do leave a comment down below, and just leave some love for her. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the flip side. If you have a story also that you want to share, you don't even have to be here. Just share hashtag #IDidNotKillHim. Hashtag #IDidNotKillHer also, because I do believe that a lot of us go through so many things in life that if it was other people, we would have taken their lives. But because we understand and we have that in us to say, listen, I don't have to do it. You are still standing, you are still here. You're more than welcome to share that. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I love you. God bless you. Mwah.